and Happy New Year. I'm Jay Jackson. Welcome to WineNewsNavarre.com. Thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing on YouTube. We begin 2026 with jobs in the wine business and why one respected professional says, prepare for the worst. It's no secret the wine industry is in trouble. With multiple years of declining sales, the job market could be headed for difficult waters.
The outlook, I would say, it's a little bleak.
Amy Gardner runs Wine Talent, the highly respected wine recruiting service based in Sacramento, California. She says when it comes to jobs, the industry is in a holding pattern.
Companies are holding off on hiring. There may be some layoffs, and people themselves just aren't looking for new jobs because they're holding on to their jobs with both hands. So when you don't have companies hiring and then you don't have people leaving their position, it makes it for a very quiet and not a real healthy job market.
Gardner says the key word for job seekers to remember right now is networking, whether you're looking for a job now or later.
You want to always be saying, how can you get yourself in front of someone? So whether that is a hiring manager, whether that's an owner of a winery, or whether that's a retail shop, getting out there, getting out and about, being a little bit of a busybody is helpful when you're looking for a job, and really being genuine to people that you're interacting with. So if someone says, hey, I need you to call my brother who's going to be opening up a new bottling line, call the brother, thank them for their time, and also remember to thank the person who gave you that lead. So it's doing a lot of networking. Going to events, I think, is very helpful. And whether that's a fundraiser that you can maybe help pour at, or if it's a charity that could use your help, maybe gathering donations, any way that you can help out, that goodwill goes a long way.
And remember, Gardner reminds, winemakers have long memories.
Companies are very lean right now. And when companies are very lean, whenever there's an uptick in business, they're quick to put out the call. They may want to not have to go through a lengthy interview process. They may want to call someone they know. That's why the networking pays off. That's also why they hire recruiters at this point. And temporary staffing firms are a good place for people to look to. But I think right now, if you're at the bare bone staff, right about now, companies, when they need to bring someone on, are going to be quick to say, I need to talk to a recruiter. I need to talk to my friends that I've been keeping in the side there so that they can hire quickly.
And there is a bright spot.
I've been seeing a lot of vineyard positions, which is interesting. I think companies are putting a lot of their resources towards growing quality fruit, and grape or wine starts in the vineyard. So quality wine growing ends up with quality wine. So I'm seeing some companies that are well positioned and maybe they're looking at the long view. They're the companies that are making great investments right now.
For more information on Wine Talent, just go to their website at winetalent.net. Wine and cancer, wine and cases, wine and calories. Here are the top stories for this month's Wine in a Minute. A new study published in Cancer Epidemiology is giving alcohol drinkers a reason for concern. An analysis of 62 different studies shows drinking alcohol is the common link to cancer, with breast cancer being the number one form of the illness. Colorectal cancer is the second highest risk, and then liver cancer follows as the third highest risk. The study shows that even moderate alcohol consumption leads to higher cancer rates. The data came from tens of millions of American drinkers, in which 40% were diagnosed with some form of cancer. Fine wine prices are taking a hit thanks to Trump's tariffs, according to industry analysts. The LiveX Fine Wine 100 Index shows an overall price drop of 2.8% last year. Bordeaux wine prices fell by 6.6%, Burgundy by 4.4%, and Champagne by 4.3%. Industry analysts say instead of buying $4,000 cases of wine, investors are buying tech and gold, which aren't affected by tariffs. Winemakers are preparing for another potential hit in the form of a pill. The popular GLP-1 weight loss drug that's now injected under names like Wegovy and Ozempic will come in the form of a pill starting this month. that will make it much easier for consumers to use the drug, which has been linked in part to the dip in alcohol use, part of the weight loss efforts by their millions of users. The pill form will be cheaper and available on a wider scale than the injectable form. And finally, we begin this new year with a look back. 2025 marked a record year of views for WineNewsNoir.com. Here are some of the stories you might remember. January 2025 started in Shankleville, Texas, where we talked with Stephanie L. Franklin after she broke ground on what will become the first black woman-owned vineyard and winery in the East Texas area. It's on land owned by the family patriarch who bought it shortly after gaining his freedom from slavery.
I wanted to plant a vineyard on my grandfather's land in the historical town of Shankleville.
We also went to Rancho Cucamonga, California, where the Wine Now Lounge celebrated its one-year anniversary. Owner Desiree Henderson said it was a year of learning.
There were a couple of times that invoices would come, and I didn't have it, quite honestly, right?
In February, we dealt with the subject of DEI and Donald Trump's crusade to end it. Leaders of the Association of African American Vintners told us focus is key.
Continuously sell. Continuously get into these accounts, continuously get in front of buyers.
February also saw the So Far Out wine brand make its debut in Southern California. In March, we saw a unique diversity tasting in Woodland Hills, California. In April, we brought you Infinity Cellars' first tasting in Inglewood, also a tribute to iBest founder Ingrid Best. In May, we talked exclusively with the wine master of the prestigious Family Reunion Cookout, and we talked with the founder of Age Wines, who's bucking the trend of downward wine sales. Then in June, we interviewed Sipping Sense author Stephanie Brown, plus we featured the diversity-forward Offhand Wine Bar of Santa Monica.
We run into and have been around every culture you could imagine since we were little kids.
July saw the first ever Summer Vines wine tasting in Inglewood. Black Vines founder Fern Stroud brought her popular Bay Area Black Vines party to Southern California for a change of view.
Getting exposure here in Southern California is extremely important.
August saw the Donati collection come to 1010 in Inglewood. We also featured the astounding success of McCarter Cellars. Then a month later, in September, we would feature 1010 for winning USA Today's Best Wine Bar in America. We'd also show you P. Harrell Wine's first visit to the popular wine space. In October, we talked with L'Objet wine master Dan Glover about the harvest of 2025. And in November, we got holiday wine tips from the Adams Wine Shop. Then we talked with the Atlanta-based wine fashionista who also earned her Level 4 diploma from the Wine and Spirits Education Trust. Finally, in December, 2 anniversaries. The 5-year celebration at Coco Vino LA in Glendora and the 1-year anniversary at the Wine Me Up Social Lounge in Upland, California.
It's just really nice to know that the community is receiving the business the first year so well.
The greatest joy is every night when I lock the doors, I feel a sense of contentment that we were able to bring a great product to our community.
You can watch all of the year's stories by clicking the archives links on the WineNewsNoir.com website. And that's it for this episode of WineNewsNoir.com. Please remember to support our sponsors on our website. Thank you again for watching, liking, and subscribing on YouTube. I'm Jay Jackson. Cheers.